Ready അല്ലേ രണ്ടുപേരും? Yes. So Noora, your 1 minute starts now.
Theodore Zeldin rightly said foreign education offers more than just knowledge. It fosters understanding, empathy, and an appreciation for diverse perspective. When foreign universities enter in India, it would prepare students to face global challenges through international curriculum and pedagogy. And also it would supplement with the element of National Education Policy 2020, which aims in providing more wider choices and freedom to the higher education sector. And as per the British Council research, more than 50% of surveyed Indian students would like to study abroad if their finance permitted. So no student should be denied the right to explore his education solely because he doesn't have the capability to afford the living expenses abroad. So when the foreign universities enter into India, it would also bridge the gap between the facilities provided by the institution and also the facilities that we actually want from them. Therefore, the entry of foreign universities would benefit higher education, as also it would develop the overall personality development of a person, which is very crucial for navigating an increasingly interconnected world.
Yes. So now Susan, you will get 1 minute and your time starts now.
The introduction of foreign universities had been a hot topic in the education sector recently. The entry of foreign universities may dilute education as they prioritize profit, potentially compromising educational standards. They may not cater as effectively to countries' educational needs compared to local institutions. The influx of foreign campuses could lead to a significant loss of good faculty from existing HEIs, and with a report of Confederation of Indian Industry states that nearly 40% of Indian professors are considering moving to foreign universities. Challenges like brain drain, loss of cultural identity, affordability issues, competition with local institutions would arise. Moreover, it requires a lot of resources, potentially taking away from local institutions. There is a chance of foreign university may not stay committed in long run. There's conflicts over educational rights may surface, and there may be disagreements between intellectual property rights and reputational effects. So,
Yes. So Susan and Noora, your 1 minute has ended. Now we move to the debate and your time starts now.
There's an element in education called the outcome-based education system, which exactly the Indian education system lacks, and which is the foreign universities are expertise in, especially the employability factor. And also the entry of foreign universities would bring in higher international dimension, and also it would attract more global students outside the jurisdiction of India. And it would also reduce the net outflow of the exchange rate outside the country, which could be invested back here to rejuvenate our education ecosystem.
Right, Susan.
see, Indian education is not much bad. It's very good. See, if instead of welcoming foreign universities, if we improve education of our country or existing universities, then it would create benefit to our students, because if foreign universities are established here, then it will create educational inequality among students, as they can't afford fees of higher foreign universities. So even though they are providing scholarships, only a few percentage are getting chances to study in foreign universities.
Not feasible, Noora.
So the foreign education, so your argument is that foreign education wouldn't bring much, you could improve the foreign education. But the Indian education could only be improved if it is exposed to a much competition to the outside world. So when the foreign universities are coming to India, it would help the state to rejuvenate the capacity of the Indian institutes to stand up with the foreign education institutions. So it would ultimately benefit, proving my fact that it would benefit the higher education sectors in India by the entry of foreign universities.
Yes, Susan.
See, entry of foreign universities will not benefit higher education, because in India's education, now the policy of Indian education is changing. According to new education policies, practical skilled training is imposed. So not only that, Indian education, see, Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of top company, studied in Indian institutions.
I refute your argument, because we have a lot of Indian institutes here. For example, according to QS ranking, IIT is ranking 171, just 177th, which is the top ranking institute in India. And many other universities, only 8 universities from India is there in the top 400 list. So Indian universities are not even able to be a good player in the world stage. So there is an extreme need of foreign universities here, which supports my argument that the entry of foreign universities would exactly benefit the higher
Yes,
education
Susan?
sector of India.
See, UPSC is one of the toughest examination in India, but the students or the qualifying students are studying from Indian university. So how can you say that Indian university is providing bad education or it's not providing good education?
It has good quality.
And if you do your argument, there comes my employability factor. The foreign universities hold much greater value for the in the job market than the Indian universities degrees because of the lack of resources, their collaboration techniques, their research and everything. Even India just provide 0.8% of their GDP to the research sector of the higher education, whereas China provides for about 2.5%. So this itself proves the fact that there's an immense need of foreign universities in India. Then only the higher education sector of India would increase, would develop.
Yes, Susan.
See, if foreign universities is established in India, they are taking good faculty from local institutions. See, Ivy League universities like Cornell and Northwestern have campuses in Qatar Education City, attracting students globally. But but in that country, local universities are facing challenges. It's because foreign universities are taking good faculty from local institutions. If students don't get much training from proper teachers or proper professors, their education quality would come down. So it's better not to impose foreign universities in India, in any country, rather improve the quality of education of that country.
Yes, Nora.
The sustainable development of the Indian education can be brought by other measures, not by restricting or putting a hindrance to the entry of foreign university.
Yes, Nora and Susan, your time has ended.
Federal Bank Speak for India, Kerala Edition Season 8 in association with Madhrbhoomi.